Hey guys, so today we're gonna talk about some bad stuff, some real bad stuff. No, not like terrible, but things that I think are kind of more along the lines of like regrets. I would rather use something else. I usually just move on to things that I like, and I love telling you guys about things that I like for obvious reasons. It's more fun for me to talk about that kind of stuff. But I do think that with the good comes the bad. When I've done these videos in the past, I've always said that, you know, to like stuff, you've got to find stuff that you don't like along the way. And while I don't like just bashing products all the time, I don't really think that's bashing. I think it's just being honest, and you know, within a brand, you're gonna love some things, you're gonna not love some things. And so what I decided to do so that this would be helpful at the same time, because bad reviews I think are helpful. A review is a review, whether you like it or not, it's helpful. I'm also gonna share things that I would use instead, things that I like instead. A lot of times if I really don't like something, I'll just find that I return it. So it's hard sometimes to find things that I really don't like, but as I was looking, I really discovered that there are a lot of things that I've got right now that I'm just not into. So before we get started, I am just a creature of habit. I am just doing my same old, just Free People sweaters that I just became obsessed with over this past like fall and winter. I got them in pretty much every color. I just love them. You can't go wrong with them. My favorite little choker necklace at the moment from Bauble Bar. My little pearl earrings that I love. I've got on my date cuff from L&M, which I really love. And let me think. I need to do my nails. Brad and I are having a little early anniversary celebration date night/day today. So that'll be fun. Okay, so first, let's get started. There is a mask that I've had for a long time. I don't think I've mentioned it. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna go. I don't remember if I mentioned it or not, but it's the Origins Original Skin Retexturizing Mask with Rose Clay. And I'm not gonna say it's horrible, but it's just very awkward. It's one of those that has little grits in it, so that the idea is, you know, you put it on, feels very like clayish, and does smell like roses. Sometimes when I use it, it burns a little. Not a big deal. I think sometimes that just means it's working, but it's not like super pleasant. It's just not. It's not like my favorite thing. When you rinse it off, it's one of those things like where you're supposed to use the beads to kind of rinse or to exfoliate as you rinse off. And it's so difficult to get off that you have to end up using a washcloth, which then makes the beads kind of pointless anyways. So a lot of times like I'll remove a mask with a washcloth for exfoliation, but you definitely can't get this off just with your hands. I don't notice a huge difference. I just am not very wowed by this. But I am wowed by something. This is the mask that I have been using lately. I did purchase the Sunday Riley Ceramic Slip. I've been using the Good Genes treatment. You can see, you know, I've used quite a bit of it, and I've been using it very regularly. So I can update on this pretty soon. But the idea with this cleanser is that you can use it as a cleanser, but you can also mix these two. You do 3 pumps of this and 2 pumps of this, and this is kind of like a French clay, very earthy smelling. I really like the smell of this. These products smell like what they are, and at first I was so turned off by this Good Genes, but now it just smells like lemon to me. I don't know why it changed. Maybe I just got used to the gross part of the smell. But yeah, I put that on, and I actually really notice a difference with that. My pores actually look really nice. My skin looks really clear. I think that the Good Genes is taking care of like some hyperpigmentation, and I'm very skeptical about skincare stuff, and I really think those things are working. So that is a very good mask, but then the products also do double because you can use them as your cleanser and stuff. Okay, I was not crazy about these. The Radical skincare pads felt like they were just water, and even sometimes like when I would put this on and it would tingle, which this does, like make my skin kind of tingle when I use it. But I just felt like it's not doing anything. I feel like it's just water on a pad. They get great reviews, and I know that they have good ingredients in them because, you know, I've read the ingredients, but I just feel like these did absolutely nothing for me. So instead, I purchased this, and it's the Perricone Intensive Pore Minimizer, and I have used this a lot over the years. You can kind of see where it settles. You do need to shake this up when you use it. I'm not always great about doing that, but this is I find Perricone has really good toners. The serum prep is really good. It's like a toner too that's a little more like, I don't know, I might get that one next, but I love this, and I've really enjoyed using that again. This product, I would say definitely skip this. It's the Living Proof Full Thickening Cream. I love the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day, the 5-in-1 styling treatment. You use this on damp hair, and it's really the only thing you need to use. It's good for adding a little bit of texture. It smooths. For me, it kind of volumizes a little bit, and it adds like a heat protectant element. It's just really nice. So I thought maybe this would work too, and honestly, this did nothing. I felt like maybe this would be like this, but just a little more volumizing, since it's kind of from their volumizing line. It did not make my hair volumized at all, so I did not like that. I've tried it so many times, I've wanted to love it, but I've just learned that I cannot stray away from this, use it all the time. Every time I take a shower, I use that stuff. I love it. This little guy, this little sad bunny, was spray by Tony Moly. I really like a lot of the Tony Moly. No, that's not true. Yeah, I like the lip balm. I like the hand cream. Not really super into this. I mean, it's okay. I just felt like you could have put water in a bottle and it would have done the same thing. Very cute, very whatever, but this is the one that's the Moist Mist. They have another one. Maybe I don't like it because it's called Moist Mist, but I don't know. It's just very... Brad always made fun of it when I used it. He was like, that looks really kind of... Okay, we'll just put him down because it's uncomfortable. He looks a little... But, you know, if you're just wanting to refresh your face, the Caudalie Beauty Elixir, the one in the little glass, that to me is just, it's so pretty, and I love the little size of it. I love that it's glass. You can keep it in your car. It's just easy. But I always find that I break out with that. So I always go back to it because I like it. I hate to say that, but I've been using this. It's the Benefit Specialist Ultra Radiance Facial Rehydrating Mist. It has that same scent that the Benefit skincare products have, like kind of fresh, but I like that it was called Ultra Radiance. It's a very like sleek bottle. It's pretty tall, but it's just easy. You can keep it in your car, keep it in your purse. It's just if you carry a larger purse. I like that just to spray on throughout the day, and it really makes my skin look pretty. The mist is really nice, but still for setting makeup, like for keeping here, the Urban Decay All Nighter is the best. A little bunny, I don't know. I don't know if I would spend the money on it. It's just kind of whatever. The Fresh Sugar Nourishing Lip Balm. I had never tried this one in the pot. I love the colored ones like the rose and all of those, just even the regular one. I was at first turned off that this smelled like mint, but then I got used to it. But then when I would use it, it's just a very waxy lip balm, and it's okay, but I just found myself like I don't want to use that. And what I do really like is this Lip Slip by Sarah Happ. I would say over the Dior, over the little Chanel in the pot, over the Fresh. I mean, I don't even know if I would put that in the same category. Over any of the lip balms, the Tony Moly, which I really love, the honey one that's shaped like lips, I would just get this. And it's very shimmery and pretty, so you can use it during the day. You can mix it with lip liner, and it's just a pretty lip look. Or you could use it the morning or at night, and the smell, I used to not like it. And like I said, I think it was because I was pregnant, and to me it smelled like crayons. Now it smells like yummy vanilla treat yumminess. It's very good. So definitely I would try that. I have a few more things. This is just something that I don't even know what I would replace it with. I don't think I would really, like some of these, actually yeah, I mean just day to day I don't really use a lot of contour products. I just use my Chanel Bronze Universal, and then if I really wanted to contour I would use another product after that, but I apply my bronzer kind of in that area, kind of to warm up your face, kind of like a step 1 thing, and then step 2 you can go in with your bronzer or with your contour like I always do if I'm really doing like a whole like full look. Like today I just used my Chanel Bronze Universal, and no, you don't have that like super chiseled look, but it's just, it kind of warms up your face in all the right places, and it gives you that little bit of a dimension. This contour cream kit by Anastasia is nice, I think, if you are a professional or something. Maybe not even that, because all these come off the same color. I think if you could really, like, you can remove these, you can maybe just get the ones that you really like and create like your perfect kit. But they were very thick, a little too much, a lot too much. And they actually do have one that's lighter than this with lighter colors. Like I said, none of these really show up on me. This pretty much, I mean, if I put it on, it's not going to be that much different than, you know, if you're super fair. So they do have a fair version. This is the light version. But if you're going to really put these on your face right here, that is a lot to put over this area where you have pores. It's just very thick. Beautiful results like on camera or whatever, but for everyday it's just not realistic for me, and kind of wish I hadn't have gotten that. I definitely wish I hadn't have gotten that. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying it's more of like I would say a professional thing. I think day to day this is ridiculous. Maybe if you just like, I like to use that Kevyn Aucoin, if you just very like lightly tapped it and just but then why do you have all of this? You know what I mean? Maybe just if they sold these separately. The contour creams are nice. They blend really pretty. I liked the Java shade. But like I said, instead of that, I really like the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Cream. And I do regret buying this, which it's not available anymore, this contour book. The eyeshadows are beautiful. These candlelight creams and powders don't show up on me. But the sculpting cream and sculpting powder is really nice. I wish you could just buy just that, because the powder is nice too. But I don't really use powder a lot. I don't know, my Chanel Bronze Universal is a cream, so I do if I'm going to use the contour. I use the contour. I like using a cream. They do sell that little duo where you get the cream and the candlelight, but I just wish you could just get that. So I would say instead of this, I would have gotten just the small one. It's just very clunky, and I just feel stupid like getting it out and just using that one little shade. And a lot of times I just don't even use the contour all that much, so I feel like I could just use a powder or something. But I mean, I've yet to find a contour cream that I really like that's just by itself. That's all I need. And, you know, I'm not going to repurchase the little tiny Kevyn Aucoin, which that's what I would recommend. If I didn't have that, I would totally buy that and be super happy with it. But maybe I should just get it and stop whining about it. But I just feel ridiculous having all of that. But like I said, I really don't like to reach for these because it's a lot. But every time I mention those, I always recommend that little one. So I think that's what I'm just going to end up. I'm just going to suck it up and get that. This I have had for a few months now. It's the Dove Dry Spray. I don't really use my natural deodorant that I used for years anymore. I found that after I had a baby, it just doesn't work for me. My hormones maybe have changed. Maybe I need a little something extra. But I used the Cashmere Mist by Donna Karan for a while. I really loved that, but I had a lot of trouble with the packaging of the products. I had two that were just really bad. One that just completely like was broken from the inside, and it was just, I just don't want to fool with those anymore. I mean, I'm sure I'll get them again because I love it, but I mostly use Dove deodorants, and that's what I use now. I just use the just original, you know, just stick deodorant, and I love it. It's fine. It works great. But I thought this would kind of be fun, but I always felt like I was kind of like, when I sprayed it, I felt like I didn't like all that in the air. I didn't like breathing it in. I just was a little funny about it, and it didn't really work all that great on me. So wasn't really into those dry spray deodorants. Maybe I could try a different brand and I'd like it, but I usually like Dove things, and just was not crazy about that. Okay, two more things. Okay, so you guys know I love these Burberry cheek blooms, and I rave about these all the time, and these are still my two original ones. I have not gotten any more, actually, scratch that. I did buy the light pink one. I did end up returning it because it didn't show up on me, but the poppy and the orange blossom are just perfect, and the orange blossom is what I have on today, and it's just very, don't be scared that it says orange because it's just a beautiful natural peach. That's what I'm wearing right now. These are so great. I think I got used to it, and now I compare everything to that, so I don't think, looking back, I would have purchased this stick one. This is very different though. It's kind of like a cheek stain look. So it doesn't have a scent really. I don't know, I'm always sensitive to scents. I like to smell stuff, but it's very just cool. Feels like it has that cool, like slippery, watery. You see how it's just a barely, just little faint stain. So definitely I would go for these instead if you want more of a color, and then you can sheer these out too. But this, I just feel like I have to use so much, whereas I do get a good result, and it's very cooling. I would wear this in the summertime if my skin was perfect and I had nothing on underneath it. I feel like a lot of times it's smearing around my makeup when I use this because I do have to use a lot, and it's very, it dries very nice, but it feels very kind of watery and cool. It has that nice like cool stick feeling, but I think I'll bust this back out in the summertime. Not like I hate this product, but I'll bust this back out in the summertime when maybe I don't have on any makeup and I just want like a pretty, you know, glow on my cheeks. I hate to mention this because I don't think it's bad, but I don't think like a lot of these things are. I'm just saying I would have rather purchased something else or kind of regret the purchase, you know. But this, the Laura Mercier Universal Invisible Pressed Setting Powder. I used it for a while and it's fine. You know, you can use, it has this little puff, which I took out and used with something else. But you know, you can just kind of use it just to touch up. It's just one of those things. And I found that when I would compare it to other things that I used, you know, it's one of those that doesn't really swatch off. Well, it just fell out. glad it didn't break. So anyways, I like to use this now. I think I'll use this more of like a setting powder, just with like a fluffy brush when I'm done with my makeup. You know, I can just kind of do that if I don't want a lot of powder. I used it and I kind of enjoyed it for a while, but then I started using this again, my Too Faced Primed and Poreless, because I was out and this is what was in my car. And it's the same idea. It's one of those colorless powders, but this is just so smoothing and it's just beautiful. And I think this makes your skin look a little brighter. It makes your pores look freaking invisible. This stuff is just, this is where it's at. Like, this is the, I don't want to say it's the only one because I always like to try new things, but this is like really the only one that I think is, this is just so worth it. All those kind of like white colorless powders, I had the Marc Jacobs one for a little bit. I ended up returning that because the packaging was so awkward and big and you couldn't fit the puff in it. Like when you would close it, the puff would force it open. And I can see now why people were like, oh, it broke in my purse. Like the powder was broke. Yeah, because you were like, you have to carry the puff with it inside of it. I mean, I don't want to carry it separate. So when you shut it, I think it like kind of breaks the powder and makes it separate. So I see why. I just think they need to make that a little bigger, that make the packaging kind of small. It was just really large in a jar. I didn't like it. But this is so good. So I would definitely recommend that. And I even took out this little puff because I was keeping the puff in that because I actually love these little Laura Mercier puffs. This is the best one for touching up. And I've also been using my MAC, so these are my two favorites, the Primed and Poreless or the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Light. And I just recently got the Light. I was using the Light Plus, but the Light is my color and it is just so beautiful. This is the most beautiful pressed powder. It has that satiny effect so that you're not like matted out. So I would say skip that Laura Mercier one. I think those two, you just can't go wrong. Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation. So I kind of have mentioned this a lot. It's a very unique, really cool product. And I would say, you know, I've used it with a beauty blender, I've used it with other things, but using it with just a synthetic, very dense brush like this, and this is actually their brush, the Phase 3. Any of the like Sigma brushes for foundation would work really nice. The other Marc Jacobs brush that I have that's kind of flatter would work really well, but this is the one that they market to go with it, and it's honestly, I can see why it works really well. A very, very unique foundation. You need the tiniest bit. I think even in the video where I used this, I was watching it and I'm like, maybe that was a little bit too much because sometimes when you're doing videos, you get carried away. And of course, you know, after you use it for a little while, you get used to it. But it's really just cool packaging. I really love this whole deal. I know some people don't like that because you touch it to your face. You can put it on your hand and then pick it up. But you literally just need like tiny, tiny little dots. So the lightest color, the number 1 Ivory, 10 Ivory. It's the lightest color they have. This is the most pigmented foundation for the amount you have to use that I've ever tried. And I love the finish. It's a very like natural matte finish. It's not going to matte out your skin and look gross, but it gives you kind of a natural like glowy pretty finish that's matte. The light color works on me, but it is very light. So when I went back to get the next shade, the shade jump in between, there was literally enough room for maybe like 4 shades in between those. It was ridiculous. And the next one was way too yellow and dark for me. So I got the third one, which was actually, when I swatched it, lighter than the second one. And this is the shade 14 Ivory Medium. And again, the same thing. I regret buying this because it doesn't match me. I can't use this on its own. It's too dark. It looks too makeup-y because of that. And again, if I use too much of this, it looks too makeup-y because it's too light. So if you mix the two, you can get a good result. But when you need the tiniest bit, mixing them is just so hard. So I've been mixing it like on the back of my hand and then using the tiniest bit, and I end up wasting a lot. So I do kind of regret doing that. I think that it's just a foundation that may not work for me because of the shade, and I'll use the rest of them. But I hate that I have to spend that much on 2 of them. And I've just decided that this is a no-go too. This primer that I've really tried to like, but has been on my counter to like kind of rant about for months. It is, to me, the worst primer because it's very greasy. I think if you're using it with a foundation like this one, like the Remarkable, which is kind of, you know, paired to go with, where you need to have your skin looking really flawless. You can't have any dryness, any little flakes or anything for it to cling to. If you've taken care of your skin, you shouldn't really have that issue anyways, but primers for me, it's either like you use one that's kind of silicone-y and slippery to make your foundation just go on really pretty if you're comfortable with how that feels. I like ones that feel a little more clean, and then that provides a really clean surface for the makeup to adhere to. If you use one that is very slippery, like a moisturizer, have you ever tried to put your foundation on right after a moisturizer? It's not really gonna, I don't get this. I think it's very hyped up. Obvious, I wanted to like rave about it and love it and be my new favorite thing in life because it's beautiful and I just love the packaging. It makes you want to really love it. The scent is really nice. It's coconut. It's just a product that you want to love, but I just can't do it. It makes absolutely zero sense to me. So, and when I use it with foundation, whether it be that one or anything else, my makeup breaks up super, super quickly later on. So whereas you might be able to use it and it looks okay right away, it really breaks it up later. So not really into that. So I wish I would have just kept the original one and not gotten sucked into buying the second one, because I don't want to end up liking it and wasting so much of it to where I have to purchase 2 more shades like that often. It's a great foundation if you can find your exact match in one shade. And that's it. I was gonna mention my Hourglass, the one color and the strobe powder that I got, because I don't like that particular color, but they have 3 other ones. There's 4 total, and I think I'm gonna dedicate a whole video to that because they also have this other little like strobing, like little sponge tool that's unlike anything that I've ever, it's very unique. So I think I'm gonna right now just go ahead and film a video for all those strobe powders because I think they are interesting, and Hourglass ambient powders I think are very kind of, you know, they've been a popular product for years, and it's just kind of exciting that they have something new now. So I think I'm gonna just kind of dedicate a whole video to comparing those. But that's it. Like I said, you know, good and bad. I like to kind of not just throw a bunch of bad things at you, but kind of explain why, and then I think going hand in hand in that, it's like, you know, what I'm using instead. So hopefully that kind of helped you guys out, and I will link to these things below. I hate to link to the bad stuff because I'm not like really recommending them, but if you want to check out more on some of these things, I'll definitely link to the good stuff because I feel better doing that. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today, you guys. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.